Are you bored of playing the same games on your Steam Deck, or maybe you just got a shiny new Steam Deck OLED and you're looking for games to really take up your time when you're on the go or whatever? This is the video for you. First up, we have River City Girls. This is a beat 'em up with a lot of personality. You play as Kyoko and Misako, two high school girls setting out to rescue their kidnapped boyfriends. This sounds like a visual novel, but it's not. It has great pixel art style, tons of locations to travel through, lots of enemies to fight. Combos are a ton of fun here, though the sensitivity for picking up items seems weirdly inconsistent when I play. This was the same on Switch, so it's not a Steam Deck control issue, it's just sometimes it acts a little funky. Some enemies give up after you kick their ass enough, and you can choose to recruit them or finish them off. It has 2-player support online or local co-op, which is freaking nice. The soundtrack is absolutely bopping, so much that I had to go and pick up the limited run physical copy of the soundtrack on eBay because it was so good. Overall, it's a great and stylized and funny game, and it runs perfectly on the deck, other than the opening comics had some weird render issues, but the gameplay, 100% fine. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is a Diablo Light at its PlayStation 2 era fineness. Sadly, you're limited to 3 characters, a human archer, a dwarf fighter, or an elf mage. You fight through Baldur's Gate, uncover dark secrets and conspiracies, you level up, find great loot, you kill lots of spiders and goblins and all sorts of enemies. It supports up to 4 players, which is pretty sick. It's a port of the Xbox version, but it has absolutely beautiful visuals for the time. Wonderful water effects as you walk through it. It's got crazy particle goodness. This was a really impressive engine for the era. The soundtrack is also really solid. The audio is a bit crunchy, but it runs at a locked 60 FPS on the Steam Deck and is an easy fun time that you can just pick up and put down at any point in time. It does not have autosave. There are specific save spots, but you don't lose a ton of progress if if your Steam Deck dies in the middle or something. Next up is Brotato. I'm gonna try not to flood these lists purely with roguelites because there are a bajillion of them, but Brotato is a new one I picked up this year, which is absolutely awesome. It gives that early 2000s Newgrounds Flash games vibe. It's a shmup style roguelike, kind of like Vampire Survivors. Has lots of characters to unlock, weapons to choose from and combine, and you have extra items to boost your performance. Waves are really short, unfortunately. The gameplay kind of lacks the dynamicness of Vampire Survivors, but I did find it to be incredibly addicting, and mod support is really pushed here, even in the main menu, where it directs you to the Steam Workshop and wants you to download and integrate mods for extra characters and items from the workshop. It is absolutely addicting. I lost way too much time on it, and it runs perfectly on the deck, 0 complaints. Next up is a game that does not run perfectly on the deck, but I would still recommend giving a go, and that is Marvel's Midnight Suns. It's definitely not the Marvel game I expected to come out this year and play, but I've actually been really enjoying it. It is a tactical RPG. It plays kind of like an ARPG and a JRPG combined. You have your own generic character, the Hunter, that you can customize a little bit, and you choose to team up with a motley crew of various Marvel characters. You've got Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Blade, a lot of people you wouldn't expect to be kind of put in one place. Wolverine, even. The actions you do in the combat are controlled by cards, and this is what I actually originally didn't want to play the game over, because I'm not into card games or deck builders, but it's basically just a mechanism for choosing your attacks. It has no real value on its own. You're not collecting cards. This is a turn-based game that lets you take on a ton of Marvel villains as you try to stop the resurrection of Lilith, the mother of demons, and keep her from bringing on the apocalypse. There's a really cringy social network aspect, as the hub area and your relationship with the other heroes matters a lot to unlock team moves and abilities, but it's a very weird part of the game. It's a lot of fun though, and it just doesn't feel super Marvel. I happened to be watching through the show Supernatural with my wife for the first time the past couple months, and given I already thought Marvel Suns was originally a different game, and that was just given a Marvel skin sometime in development, I'm wondering if this was supposed to be a Supernatural game. You're a hunter. You team up with other hunters and fight demons and supernatural beings while trying to stop Lilith? I mean, come on, where's Cass? What is there to say about Hades that hasn't been said? I'm awful and never played Supergiant Games' previous titles like Bastion and Transistor, but I have to now. Hades is a roguelike, but completely different from Brotato. In Hades, you proceed through a series of connected and randomized rooms and levels as you try to break out of the underworld. Each escape attempt starts you over, but you improve your skills, unlock new weapons, and gain new favors from the Greek gods along the way. You play as Zagreus, the son of Hades, and you've been lied to about your history and your relatives, and you just want to break free. Learn about your mother. Hades is fast-paced and relies on reaction times and adaptability for your survival. Every point of damage you can take limits how far you make it. You've got basic attacks, throwable weapons, plus some added abilities that come from your god bonuses, along with the ability to call in direct aid from the gods themselves. The story unfolds as you progress through your escape attempts, learning more and more as you go. The art style is beautiful and impressive. The music builds the perfect atmosphere, plus every character so hot. This has been my perfect airport game whenever I travel. It's so easy to pick up and put down with only small investment times put into it and a give and go. Plus, it lets you save whatever room you were in, allowing you to freely switch to other games or turn it off, unlike other games in the genre. But it's easy to lose hours in if you're not careful. Again, it runs perfect on the Steam Deck, with even a Vulkan Steam Deck graphics mode available when you launch it. If you somehow haven't tried this game yet, get on it ASAP, and Hades 2 is coming soon as well. That's 5, I believe, games for the Steam Deck that you absolutely need to try whenever you're on the go or just playing portably. Works great on Steam Deck, works great on Steam Deck OLED. Let me know your favorite Steam Deck games to play, whether you're at home or on the go, in the comments below. Check out this video on our favorite games of the year, just in general, whether they came out this year or not, because some people have some weird picks, and remember to be kind, rewind.